Hi there and welcome back to my channel. This is Sean, the Honest Book Reviewer, with another book review. In this video we're discussing The Shell House Detectives, written by Emylia Hall. It's the first in the Cosy Mystery series. The series is called Shell House Detectives series. So the title of this book kind of leads in to the title of the whole series. It's not my favourite Cosy Mystery from the first book, but it's okay. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the setting. I enjoyed the characters, some more than others. The mystery was okay, wasn't that strong, but I can see there's room for growth in this series, and I can see the author can put together a coherent plot, and I'm sure the author will also be able to just create stronger mysteries as the series progresses. So the setting is in a seaside town, a very small town on the coast in England. And I love small town cozy mystery settings because it just opens up all those relationships between the characters. And that's what's special in cozy mysteries, how the characters interact with each other. That makes a cozy mystery what it is. But anyway, let's go into this book in more detail now. Before we dive into the plot, let's talk about the two main characters. The two main characters that investigate the mystery or mysteries in this book, because there's more than one. So we have two characters, Ellie and Jaden. Now I'm not sure yet that they work so well together. They seem to have some sort of chemistry, some sort of bond in the book, but I'm not convinced 100% that they're a great pair. But I'm sure as the series goes on, I'll see that more and more. But they do forge quite an alliance in this book. Now Ellie is a widow. Her husband Bill was a police officer in this small town, and he was a beat cop on the street. And she thinks of herself as on the edge of things. She thinks she's kind of on the edge of the small town life, not really mixing with people, doesn't have really close connections in the village. But I don't think that's true. In this book, she gets right in the center of things, and you find out that a lot of people know who she is, and they care about her and they talk to her. So she's not on the edge of things after all. Jaden is an ex-policeman from the big city, and he's moved to this small town because his wife grew up here. And the reason he's an ex-policeman is something happened on the force to one of his friends. He's actually a partner on the force, and that trauma, that tragedy, led him to leave the police force. But it's kind of in his blood. He loves investigating. It's in his blood, and he wanted to be a detective. That was his dream. And when these mysteries start happening, when events start happening in the book, he can't help himself. He's drawn into it, and he's drawn to Ellie. He sees something in Ellie that draws him to her, and they kind of feed off each other. They support each other in their own grief, because they're both experiencing grief of different sorts in this book. And I think that's what their connection's all about in this book. That's what starts their connection, in those two different events in their lives that they're grieving about still. Jaden, that tragedy with his partner on the force, and Ellie, her husband dying. They're still grieving, and that grief kind of forges that alliance between these two characters. So how do these two characters meet? What starts the whole mystery? Well, one night, Ellie gets a knock on her door, and it's a young guy called Louis Pascoe, and he's just out of prison, and he says that, I think, at a doorstep. But he's in a bit of a state. He seems a bit frantic, a bit angry, also very upset, a bit unstable, and it's because he expected his nan to be around. When he went to prison, his nan said, "Come back to me when you're out of prison. I'll take care of you. I'll help you." He gets out of prison, goes to his nan's house. It's not there anymore. It's been knocked down. A new house has been built in its place, and his nan's gone. And the guy in the new house tells him that his nan has passed away. So it's a big shock for Louis, and that causes him to unravel a bit. He kind of spirals down into a bit of darkness. And Ellie sees this frantic person on a doorstep, and she's a bit scared for herself. She's alone in her home, and she's scared for herself, and she just thinks she can't help him, and he ends up running away. She's worried about him that night, and then the next day, while she's taking her dog for a walk, she hears about somebody who's found in the ocean. They think somebody jumped off the cliffs into the water, rescued. He's still alive, but he's lost consciousness. So Ellie finds out it's Louis. She gets to the scene, and from then on, she's got another grief moment from then on. She's just wondering, what could I have done? Could I have helped him? If I had helped him that night, the night before, would he have done this? And that leads her into the mystery. At the scene as well is Jaden, and Jaden sees Ellie's reaction and wonders what it's all about. He wonders what isn't Ellie telling the police on the scene. So he wants to find out, so it leads him to talk to Ellie, to convince her to go have a cup of coffee somewhere, and then they forge that connection. They start talking about the scene, the events of the night before and that day, and then they find out more about each other. And they decide as a pair to investigate, because there's a second mystery. The second mystery is Helena Carter lives in a house with her husband, and the house is where Lewis's grandmother's house used to be. Helena went jogging that same morning and hasn't returned. She's missing. And the police, because Lewis went to their house, Helena and her husband's house, the night before, and the morning before they find out as well, and in both times he was in quite a state. They think he may have done something to Helena. He may have abducted her or injured her, hurt her in some way. And he can't talk. He's in a coma. But Ellie and Jaden are convinced. They think that Lewis isn't involved in the disappearance of Helena. So they have two cases they want to find out. They want to find out where Helena is. Is she missing? Did something happen to her? And they also want to find out what happened to Lewis. Did Lewis really jump, or was he pushed? They're the two mysteries that they're trying to find out in this book. I really enjoyed the setting in this book, the small town setting, because I love small town settings and cozy mysteries. Also the way the author describes the seaside. Not just the environment, not just the scenes in the seaside, but also the buildings there as well, the houses. The houses feel very original, very quaint, and each just has a certain charm to it, something about each house that just draws you to those houses. And when I was reading about these houses in this book, I found myself thinking, I'd love to live in Ellie's house or visit there, because it just feels so quaint and so comforting. It just feels so unique in the environment and unique to cozy mysteries. The mystery itself wasn't that strong, but I enjoyed following Ellie and Jaden on their investigation. I enjoyed that part of it because both characters give a lot to the book. I think Ellie gives more than Jaden, but when they talk to people, other characters in the book, and I hope they're repeat support characters, they also give something to this book. And I enjoyed that whole investigation piece in this story. Speaking of characters, look, for the two main characters, I think Ellie's a bit stronger than Jaden, so far for me anyway. But the support characters add a lot. There's some support characters there that I really love. Gus in particular. Gus is like a blow-in. He's an incomer, and in this book, he's there for a few weeks. He wants to write a book himself, and he's struggling with that. But he's falling in love with the seaside. He likes it there. He's forging friendships as well with certain people who are living there in this small town. And I think Gus would make a great support character in this series, so I'm hoping he stays. And of course, being a cozy mystery, it's all about characters and how they interact. Their dialogue, how they mix with each other, how they think of each other as well. It's all important in cozy mysteries, and I enjoy the characters in this book. They're fun, enjoyable, engaging, some more than others of course, and even the ones who are nasty, they engage you as well in this book. And I found there was a mix in this book. There's one or two nasty characters, most are nice characters in this town, and of course things happen to certain characters that feel a little bit cliche for cozy mysteries, but they suit it, and I enjoyed everything about the characters in this story. Ellie, number one main character for me at the moment. I really enjoy Ellie in this book. She's engaging, she's very wise, and she puts herself in the center of things. For a character who keeps saying she feels like she's at the edge of things, she's not at the edge of things. No way. She's right in the center, and she puts herself there so many times. But I love the way that she's drawn to these two cases because she cares for people. It's a genuine care. It's so honest. You feel it in this character. Everything about her feels so honest and true. And I really enjoy Ellie, and I'm hoping this series goes for a few more books at least, because I want to see more and more of Ellie in this series. Jaden, who's main character number 2 in my eyes at the moment. He's a good character. He's strong. Not as strong as Ellie for me. I do enjoy him in the book though. I think he offers a lot, and I like his history. His history is very well put together. He's got a great history and it's very consistent, and it stays true to how he acts in the present day storyline as well. And what I like about this book, and I'm hoping the series is the same, is we don't dive into past in chapters. The past is merged well in the present storyline. So we're fed snippets of the past and the characters' pasts, but as the storyline progresses, we're given that. We don't go back and forward in chapters between past and present. So as a structure of a book, it's one of my favourite ways books are structured. And this character is a really good character. He's strong, but not brilliant yet. But I do think there's room for growth for Jaden. Gus I have to mention because in this book, Gus is my favourite support character. And I'm so glad that it seems like he's going to be there for a bit longer. I enjoy everything about Gus. He feels very honest, very genuine. He's one of those characters that just wants to do the right thing all the time. Even when it puts himself in jeopardy sometimes, he thinks, I'm doing the right thing, everything's going to be okay. It doesn't work out okay all the time for Gus. He puts his foot in it sometimes in the book. But I just like Gus. He's just genuine, honest. He feels so real. Everything about him feels real. And I find myself wanting the best for Gus in this book. There seems to be some sort of connection between Gus and Ellie in this book. And I'm wondering what that's going to be. I'm wondering if this is going to be the start of a romance between the two characters. I'm kind of hoping it is because both characters deserve some happiness in my eyes. I think they're ready to have some sort of friendship / romance in the series, and I'm hoping that does develop. Even though I'm not over the moon about this book, I still enjoyed the read very much. I rated it a 3.5 out of 5. It's a great first book in a series. Not my favourite first book in a cozy mystery series that I've ever read, but it's still very strong, well above average, and there's so much room for growth in this series. And in this small setting with this small town on the seaside, I think it's going to have a lot of great scenes, a lot of great scenery as well, and I just love the way the author describes things in this book. The scenery, the buildings, the people, they all feel very real in this story, and I'm hoping for more books in this series. On my channel, I review many cozy mysteries. If you enjoy cozy mysteries, check out my channel and subscribe. There's also a cozy mystery post on my channel. It should be on your screen now.